Welcome in. Happy Wednesday. I'm trying not to startle the dog who is eating his food right behind me. It's very cute. I wish you could see it. I'm not even going to say his name. Starts with O, ends in liver. I'm not going to distract him. We are here on Wednesday, live chat. All your Wells Fargo questions, the tournament, not the bank. All your Myrtle Beach questions, the tournament, not the place. Anything else you want to talk about, I don't care. I'm in a heavyweight dispute on eBay right now. I can get you up to date on that. Whatever you guys want to talk about over the course of the next hour, time is yours. Questions, concerns, and comments in the chat right now. There are some comments that came through earlier that did not show up in StreamYard, but I was able to grab a couple of those. I'll get to those in a second. But let's start this in the most efficient way possible. And let's look at the weather for this week. And boots on the ground have already told us that the course is quite wet. There is rain happening right now. They're in a severe thunderstorm watch. There is thunderstorms in the forecast for tomorrow. That's Thursday. But the rest of the week looks pretty clean in terms of precipitation. The wind might be a little bit of a problem on Friday afternoon. So here's what we've got. Thursday morning, pretty calm, just, less than 10 mile an hour winds until about 10 or 11 a.m. Then you're going to get upwards of about 11 or 13 miles an hour. Friday morning, very, very clean. Those afternoon winds are coming, but they're coming later. Now, the problem here is, do thunderstorms stop play? Do they delay play, or do they play through it? We don't know the answer to those questions. Are they going to proactively put on preferred lies, knowing that it's been raining right now, it's been raining this week, the course is wet, and also there are thunderstorms coming? I don't know the answer to that either. If you made me guess right now, I think you could probably lean a little bit more on AM, PM. Although, I guess I'm an idiot here. It doesn't really matter, does it? Because this is only 69 golfers. They're all going out within a 2-hour window on Thursday because they're going to go off split tees. So I'm not even sure this really matters, to be quite honest with you, because there's not true waves here. So I think we can maybe just disregard everything that I just said. My idiot brain was going right to waves. Here is the one and done site-wide picks already in for Wells Fargo Championship. Wyndham Clark is the most popular golfer selected in one and dones this week, 20%. Rory McIlroy at 17, probably just because Rory's been used a lot of places already. Then Max Homa at 12%. So everybody else in single digits. A couple of notables: Xander Schauffele at 9.2, Patrick Cantlay at 4, Hideki at 2.6, Justin Thomas at 2.7. Those I think are probably the most interesting. All right, let's get to those early questions here. BD Fry, and I don't have the comment to show, says, thoughts on Taylor Moore this week and hopefully meeting you in Louisville next week. Yeah, I think that's probably very possible, right? I'll be there. I'll be there all week. I'll be there Tuesday afternoon to Sunday when the thing's over. So we will be set up. I don't know where yet. A lot of times we do things around the driving range. As soon as I know where we're set up for CBS Sports, I'll let you know. But if you see me, grab me, say hello, all good. This is my website, rickrungood.com. It's basically what you'll see from here on out. So Taylor Moore, if you've been following along, you guys know I like Taylor Moore and I like the skill set. And he kind of went through a little bit of a slump, but he started to play better here in 2024. I like the way that his ball striking has started to improve. I like how talented he is around the greens. The problem can be the putter. He has a very large range of outcomes on the putting surfaces. This week, you're probably going to need to be pretty savvy around the greens. You're hitting a lot of long iron shots into these greens. You're missing a lot of them, and you're going to have to be able to get up and down. I certainly think that he is trending in the right direction. He's someone that you probably would think, based on this skill set, this is a better course for him than just like a regular wedge fest putting contest because of the way that his skills overlay onto Quail Hollow. Joseph says, Billy Ho or Keegan, are they still long elite iron players, or am I living in the past? Unfortunately, I've been waiting for Keegan Bradley to break out of this little bit of a slump that he's been in for months, and it hasn't really gotten there yet. The metrics are okay, knowing his historical stuff. He's still a very good second shot player. He is losing more off the tee than I would like. He's losing more around the green than I would like. And the putter is kind of, it's been a problem. There was a stretch where he did putt well and it resulted in a victory at the Travelers Championship, but he's kind of regressed back to being Keegan Bradley again. So that's a little bit concerning. I was waiting for kind of something better than this. And the long irons are okay. 175 to 200 yards, he's 24th. 200 to 225, he's 52nd. 225 to 250, he's 95th on the PGA Tour. Billy Horschel might be still in his upward trajectory. So he is coming off of a win a couple of starts ago. The Zurich Classic miscut, like, just do not care at all. He won in Punta Cana. We don't have the strokes gain breakdown for there, but you can look at his other events leading into this where he had, 3 top 12 finishes in the 5 events before his victory. And it was a very well-rounded game, really strong ball striking, the ability to get hot with the putter. This dates back to basically September of last year, how good he's been playing. And then if you look at his proximity buckets, they're worse than Keegan's are from farther out, but that's going to be tainted with some of the slump that he was in. So I wouldn't be too concerned about that. Billy looks to be a pretty decent play this week. John says, hey, Rick, can you run a new model with more course history than was run on Monday's show? Sure. So we'll go to the custom model. We will load Monday's model, which I don't remember what I called it. I probably called it Monday Wells Fargo Championship. Here it is, 5-6. Okay, so we'll open this up. And what I'll do is then adjust a couple of things here. We'll take 10 off bogey avoidance. We will take 10 off par fives, strokes gained par fives, and we'll add both of those to course history to give us 25 on course history. Xander number 1, Siwoo number 2. Then you get Rory, who I think jumped up pretty significantly in this model. Wyndham Clark, Akshay, Tommy Fleetwood, Hideki, Harris English, Justin Thomas, and Chris Kirk round out the top 10. I got to be honest with you. Getting warmer on Chris Kirk, getting warmer on Ricky Fowler. I think there's a question. Actually, it's coming up shortly about who I've warmed on this week. So I'll just let you know. Chris Kirk has not played a lot. When he's played well. Okay. So we've got only like 4 or 5 starts since Riviera. All of them, or most of them, are T28s, 4 out of his last 5. Harbor Town is the kind of performance that you expect to see. He played well at the Masters. That kind of flew under the radar. And look at this. It's his birthday. I love finding the Easter egg. Found it earlier in the week for Ben Griffin. His birthday was Monday, I believe. Chris Kirk with the birthday, 39 years old. I love it. We built this little Easter egg into rickrungood.com that shows up on guys' birthdays. I'd like to do more. Maybe if it's, I don't know, but I love when I just stumble on that. So he's somebody that I'm warming on, and I'll just tell you right now, we'll just get this right out of the way. The Ricky Fowler thing has got my attention. You do not want to be involved, and I've said this a million times about Ricky, when he's lost his weapon. And when he was dismal with the putter, he was untouchable. He has now gained strokes putting in 5 out of 7. Okay. So we're starting to see signs of that again. Short game around the green, very good, and has now gained 4 out of 5 on approach. We got to figure out the driver, but this is a historically good golf course for him. We're trending. We're trending right now. If you're going to try to be early on Ricky, now feels like the moment. Do you have a winner for Myrtle Beach? Sure do. Of course. I think there's 3 viable options for Myrtle Beach. You can go to the cheat sheet. You can flip over to that field or round 1 field for Wells Fargo or the senior field for this week. Looking at the golf course, we don't know a lot, right? So I went and I did the satellite imagery and I kind of marked it off and mapped it out a little bit. It's not real. I don't know why they call it the Dunes Beach. Like I was expecting Congaree. I didn't. It's basically a tree-lined golf course close to the water. So I think there's a couple options here. Ben Griffin, who has put together decent results in much better fields, right? 13th in Byron Nelson, 14th in Punta Cana, 17th at Valspar. I think that he's very, very live. There was a reason why I found out his birthday was earlier this week, because I was deep diving him earlier. Justin Lauer, now in the stretch of 5 straight top 28s, and putting together a fairly well-rounded game. And then I went down. So I've bet these three guys. I bet those two. And then I bet Thurston Lawrence, who this is a pretty big flyer. Or is it Thriston Lawrence? It's not Thurston. I think it's Thriston, Thri. He was crushing the DP World Tour. And then he comes over here, misses the cut in Punta Cana, misses the cut at the Zurich. I'm not really sure I care about either of those. Missing the cut in your first PGA Tour event in a year, I don't care. Okay. There's a lot of new things you got to get used to. You got to get into this. We see that all the time. Missing the cut at the Zurich, also don't care. I also wouldn't care if he won it, right? It's just not all that interesting to me. I think he starts to settle in and gets back to baseline golf, which is pretty darn good. If you go to the power rankings and go to Myrtle Beach Classic, he's technically number one in this field in strokes gained. Now that's raw. He's beating up on DP World Tour guys, but 1.5 strokes gained per round is very much the best in the field, obviously with some of those caveats. Okay, now we can get back to here. So I've got those questions done now. So will Clark defend? Totally not asking because I'm picking him in one and done. Do you want to, here's a funny story. The reason why pitchers and catchers and managers cover their mouths during coaches visits, mound visits, is because of Will Clark. Because Will Clark, I think it was in an all-star game, read the lips of a pitcher saying fastball, and he took him deep. And then he told the story, and now you get this. You get covered up with the mouth, covered up with the mitt. Anyway, Wyndham Clark. I think it's very likely that he defends. He is a very high upside golfer, which is kind of good for this situation. He is trending. The last 3 rounds of Harbor Town were some of the best 3 rounds that we saw from anybody after playing himself out of it in round number 1. So he's going to get 4 more guaranteed rounds this week, which is really good. The setup of this golf course is good for Wyndham. And there's a pretty strong argument to be made that he's been like the second best player in the world this year, right? He's got 2 runner-up finishes to Scotty. He has a T3 to Scotty, right? He's been barely beaten by anybody. And he won at Pebble Beach. I understand that event was shortened to just 3 rounds, but very, very good chance that Wyndham Clark gets in the mix this week. Who's going to be the first round leader? Hell if I know, but we'll try to figure this out here. So we'll go to strokes gain distribution. Give me guys that gain 5 or more strokes to the field. Wyndham Clark, not bad. Sahith, $9,100, and he gains 11% of the time. He gains at least 5 strokes to the field. Let's go and do this as well. Let's go. I want to see guys and how they play in round 1. I guess we should probably shorten that up. Let's do just 2024. See what happens here. We want a little bit of volatility. Could I find? I'll tell you what, Alex Noren's been pretty good, hasn't he? 4.8 at Byron Nelson, 5.8 at the American Express, 4. That's what you want. You want peaks and valleys here. You don't want a guy who's just going to gain 2 every single time. Pavone wouldn't be bad. I'll tell you what, Eckroat probably wouldn't be bad either. Yeah, look at this. This is kind of what you want. You want +5, +4, -half, -half, +4, +5. That's kind of what you want. Let's go Austin Eckroat. Best pivot in each range. Will Wyndham be chalk now with Ludwig WDing? So let's go back to the cheat sheet. Mike Cavalunas does all the ownership projections for rickrungood.com. Let's see what he's got at the top of the board. He's got Rory in 24% of lineups. He's got Xander in 27%. He's got Wyndham in 17%. Not overly egregious there. So the pivots in each one of these ranges, let's see. Everybody in the 9K range projected to be at least 12%. I think that if you are looking for a pivot there, you're probably not going to find it. Brian Harman and Russell Henley are decent options actually, Brian Harman, Russell Henley, Sung Jae Im are all decent options in that 8 to high end 7K range. there's really no reason to not like Sung Jae. I know he withdrew last week. He burned me. He burned a lot of people. I had him nearly across the board in one and dones. Just horrible. But if I liked him last week, nothing has changed. If he was just ill, not injured or anything like that, then we're all good. Brian Harman's got decent history at this event, a little bit of good history at Quail Hollow, but Russell Henley is just a top 12 machine. 4th at the Texas Open, 12th at the RBC Heritage, very good ball striker, keeps it in play off the tee. That would be a pretty decent pivot. Christian Bezuidenhout instead of Adam Scott. Bezuidenhout's been playing all over, and he's been doing it well. Okay, so I'll pull this up. Just finished 3rd at the ISPS Handa Championship, T28 at the RBC Heritage, T25 to Valero Texas Open, T9. I mean, that's 5 straight, top 28 finishes worldwide. So if you're not looking at global stuff for all of these guys, you're missing out. I mean, Pavone's been playing overseas, Bezuidenhout, obviously Lawrence. I mean, there's a ton of guys. So that's one of the biggest things I love about rickrungood.com is it's got all the data, which is important. Hey, Rick, can we take a closer look at Justin Thomas and maybe discuss your feelings on whether you're bullish or bearish on him and why? Then it says, cheers, great content website. Thank you. Yeah, listen, I'm a sucker, but Justin Thomas has got me intrigued again, right? I wanted to really not have to deal with Justin Thomas for a while, but this is too good to pass up. The putter's a huge problem. The putter's always been a huge problem for Justin Thomas, so that's not really a big concern. The approach numbers are still very, very good. The Masters miscut was despicable, but he just split with Bones. Maybe there was some of that hanging over his head. And of course, he bounces right back and finishes T5 at Harbor Town and closed on Sunday like a beauty, gained across the board. Give me these putting numbers. He's always phenomenal around the greens. He's been an elite ball striker for a year now. I just can't quit him. So he's disappointing me constantly. I'm going to have to start going to Justin Thomas's Anonymous, but it's kind of where we're at. Skipping this question on Rickie because I already answered it. Akshay Yeager, Harris, or Pendrith last man in. That's Yeager for me. Hey, Rick, I'm headed to Myrtle Beach with my wife and son for Saturday's round. Any pro tips for attending my first non-practice round PGA event? Yeah, walk the course backwards, meaning start at like 9, go to 8, 7, 6, 5, not physically turn around and walk the golf course backwards. That just allows you to see everybody and you get to spots because everyone walks the normal way. You will get to spots first for groups that will have larger crowds. Now, I don't know how large the crowds are going to be, so you're probably going to have a great time. You're probably going to be able to see everything, but that's the general rule of thumb. If you are walking in the same direction as everybody else, you're wrong. Hey, Rick, when looking at course history, how far back is too far back? Notice Glover has a win here in the early 2010s. Yeah, this depends on golf course, if they've done renovations. Rule of thumb, probably 5 years. If it's outside of that, I don't really care. Taking a look at course horses on rickrungood.com and notice some 6K guys with a greater than strokes gained 1, Fowler, Rose, and Grillo. Any hope for these guys this week? So we already talked about Rickie Fowler. I think there's plenty of hope. Let's do Justin Rose, who I don't think I'm quite as bullish on, but let's take a little peek. See, yeah, this is a problem. So we've seen the full evolution of Rose the last couple of years. We've seen him completely dependent on the short game. We've seen him then combine the short game with some really good ball striking, in which that's when he went on this run. That's when he won at Pebble Beach. It's what you saw basically for most of 2023. And now we're seeing the holes again, right? We're seeing just not only bad weeks, but miserable weeks. I mean, he loses 6 strokes ball striking at the Ned Bank. That's a European Tour event. Just gets his butt handed to him. Loses 7 strokes ball striking at Kapalua. He has not, I mean, he's gained once ball striking this year, and it was 0.1 over 4 rounds at API, and he missed the cut. Just, this is a guy who's lost. Hey, Rick, what's your betting card for this week? Sure. So listen, this is what I bet. Go spend your money however you want. I have bet 2 guys for the Wells Fargo and 3 for Myrtle Beach. I bet Rory 7.5 to 1, and I bet Justin Thomas at 28 to 1. I just think that feels like Rory's about to start vibing. And he's kind of already vibing a little bit, and this is a great spot for him, and he's going to be rewarded for all of his strengths, and I like it. JT, we've already talked about. The other 3, and we've already talked about Myrtle Beach as well. I got Lawrence at 60 to 1. I got Lauer at 40 to 1. I got Ben Griffin at 28 to 1. Need the free money pick from the producer. She is scorching. She never misses. She's always got somebody in the top 5. Often they win. So I will turn around and ask, Armina, what is your pick of the week?
Jägerbomb.
She said, if you did not hear that, and I quote, Jägerbomb is exactly how she said it, which would be Steven Jaeger. Any guys at the top who will take the week as more of a prep for Valhalla, or with the no-cut format, is this a non-factor? I highly doubt it. The guys at the top of the board are not going to overlook a chance to win $3.6 million and get their game in shape. And Quail Hollow will need all of your faculties in place. And also, I just don't think Valhalla is unique enough to like try to do different things to prepare for Valhalla. Hey, Rick, what are your thoughts on Patrick Cantlay? Yeah, Cantlay is actually a pretty interesting name this week, just because of how quiet he's been. The weird part about this year is because Scotty has sucked up so many wins. The long shots have sucked up so many wins. Think about all the guys that don't have wins. Rory doesn't have an individual win. Cantlay, Xander, Victor, Colin, just like a ton of guys who halfway through the year should have a win by now. They don't. So this is what Parker's alluding to, and I agree with him. The start of 2024, just unlike Patrick Cantlay, where he's losing a ton of strokes on approach, he's losing even off the tee. It appears that he has started to iron that out. If you can get the precision going around Augusta National, which he did, if you can get the precision going around RBC Heritage, which he did, those are 2 really good signs. I don't care about the T23 at the Zurich. I just do not. I know that they were the favorites and all that fun stuff. He's played here twice. 2021, he missed the cut. 2023, which was last year, he finished T21. He lost 2.3 strokes on approach. Everything else was pretty good. Pretty sneaky play here. Would be an interesting one and done selection. 4% projected ownership in one and dones. Let's see what the Pool Genius tool says. Pool Genius, yeah, has him as my second best option. So this is custom to me. So I've already, I track my picks, right? If you bless you, if you use this tool, the link's in the description, it tracks who you've used and who you've not used already. So like I can't use Adam Scott. I can't use Brian Harmon. I can't use Justin Thomas, etc. I have Rory available. He grades as a 95 out of 100 for me. He's my best option. Patrick Cantlay is my number 2 option, and I get it. Expecting a low ownership, decent recent history here. Ball striking metrics look good. This is a big-time purse. You'd want to use a big-time player. I'd have no problem if you wanted to roll out Cantlay in one and dones, especially if you don't have Rory available. If you do have Rory available, he's probably already been used by 50% of your league mates. That's kind of the average around the industry. And many will save him for Valhalla, or some will play him at Valhalla. So I'm fine with either one of these. I used a lot of Rory. I used a lot of Cantlay, a little bit of Cantlay, actually. I used a lot of Xander when I had him, and I used Wyndham. Basically those 4 exclusively, mostly Rory. And then I like to see that Cantlay's in here as well. So again, this is that Pool Genius tool that I consulted on. It's a very good tool. We work well with those guys. We get, I think there might be a discount on this. Links in the description, either a discount or a free trial. I cannot remember what it is right now, but we have a very good relationship with them. did the March Madness stuff. They're good guys. Tom's my guy over there. Next question is, I'm in the middle of the pack. Pool Genius says Rory is my best play. Use him, save him for Travelers or elsewhere, maybe a major. You're in the middle of the pack. I think it's time to probably burn him. Yeah. You get good course history, coming in with a lot of confidence. Week before a major, he kind of crushes weeks before majors, quite honestly. I think I ran this for before the Masters. He's played like 6 times before the Masters before this year, and he won 3 of them. I know that's only the Masters, but come on. Actually, that might have been all majors. Might not have been the Masters. I can't remember. No question. Just want to say thanks for everything that you do. Appreciate that. Is Ricky back? I think he might be. Chris Kirk had a great Masters. I'm in, buddy. Yeah. Deep dive Jaeger. Talk me off a stupid ledge. Can't do it. Producer's pick. He's probably going to be the first round leader. He's probably going to finish T2. Here's the thing. Jaeger is so improved. Such a good driver. Really good short game. I, of course, worry about the other two. The putting, miserable. The approach play, we've seen it better. That's going to be really demanding this week. I do like, though, that if he does miss some some greens, he has the around the green game to pick himself back up. I like that. I'm cautiously optimistic because I think that you're going to need to be a better approach player this week. I think Quail Hollow is a big boy spot. And I think Steven Jaeger's a medium boy. So I'm like a 6 out of 10. Long shot Kevin Tway, what are your thoughts? Generally, that would be insane, but I know he's playing well and I know he's got great metrics. So if you start running a lot of smaller sample size stuff, he shows up a lot. I'm crossing out Zurich. I don't care about Zurich. He finished T11. 3rd in Punta Cana, T9 at Byron Nelson. Here's the facts. He's playing with fire, losing 4 strokes on approach at Byron Nelson and gaining 9 in the short game. It's probably his best short game week ever. It is his 2nd best ever. That's unlikely to happen again. And then Punta Cana, he finishes 3rd. We don't get the strokes gain breakdown. He's about to be welcome to a completely different field. Okay. It's one thing to beat up on the dorks in Punta Cana. Try to beat up on Rory and some of these other guys. Is Wyndham a better play this week or next? Probably. It's tough. I've already mapped out Valhalla, but what I need to know is what that rough is going to look like. How thick, how nasty, how penal is it going to be? The fairways are incredibly small. And I don't think it's like Oak Hill. Oak Hill, there were some spots where, yes, they were pinched into 25 or 27 yards wide. But if you could carry it 310, you could drive it past a lot of the trouble. I'm not really sure that's going to be possible at Valhalla. I think you're either going to be playing out of the fairway or be playing out of the rough. I don't think carrying hazards is going to be something we see a lot of. So I need to know what that rough is going to be. I think probably without that unknown, with those unknowns, probably this week. Why is the Husky on your hat not wearing pants? Yeah, he's not. He's covered in fur. So that's Swinging Jonathan. That's the UConn. I think it's the UConn men's golf. I don't know if it's the women's golf team as well, but that's Swinging Jonathan. That's their logo. I love the Swinging Anything hat. I'm going to try to get, I think there is a Swinging Louis logo, which is Louisville's mascot in Swinging a Golf Club. I know there's a Swinging Pete for Oklahoma State. I love all of those. But yeah, no, he's not wearing pants. I guess the fur's okay. Hey, Rick, all week long, I heard you need to be long off the tee here. So I ask, in the golf analytics world, what yardage is considered the Mendoza line for being a long driver? Ooh, good question. Well, I'm going to say it depends, but I think it depends on each golf course. Now, what you would see, so really, the problem is it depends on every golf course because it depends on elevation. It depends on how these holes play. So here's the average drive for every par 4 and par 5 at Quail Hollow. So I would say roughly the average is somewhere between 305 and 315. So let's call it 310. If you are sub 302, you're probably going to have a bad time. You're sub 300, better be really good. You better never miss a fairway, because look at all the missed fairway penalties, right? It's a good question. Hey, Rick, if I were to go to a practice round before a tournament, which day is best to get autographs? Any practice round day should be fine. I mean, Tuesday would probably be better than Wednesday, but I don't think it's going to matter. Those guys usually sign both. Sometimes, depending on where you're at or where you're going to, autographs might be limited to certain spots or certain ages. I don't know, though. Brent, hey, Brent, says, thoughts on what the community should do with the alternate field DraftKings contest? They are trash. Do we enter them and show demand, or do we boycott them and email our VIP reps? Ugh. I think the answer is fill them early, because I think that would move the needle over emailing your reps. You could do both, but I hate to say that, because it's kind of a leap of faith to say, well, hey, corporation, we're just going to give you more of our money faster because we want something different from you. Feels dirty. But I don't think boycotting does the trick either. I think if they're just going to look at the metric and say, wow, this filled on Tuesday at noon, we should have made it bigger. I think. Can we do a deep dive on Russell Henley and Corey Conners? Let's do one, and then we'll maybe circle back on the other later. So let's do Corey, because we talked a little bit about Russell Henley already. So Corey Conners, T11 at Zurich again, don't care. T44 at Harbor Town, lost in the short game, no surprise. Masters, I mean, this is the same. It's always the same. He's going to gain 5 or 6 strokes ball striking. He's going to lose 3 or 4 in the short game, and he's going to finish somewhere between T13 and T38. The path to him getting to the top 25, or I guess in this field, maybe top 20, is very wide. The path to him getting to the top of the board, first, second, it's very narrow, because he just can't out-hit his putter. And that's not a knock, but his results are just so polarized into being T13 to T21. He never does anything different, which is cool. It's fine. It's good if you're Corey Conners. Just never. Curious to how I found out who has high ball apex and also is their bounce back somewhere. So, okay. As always, I'm in the midst of a ton of updates. So I'll just give you a quick run here. The next round of updates that you're going to see on rickrungood.com are not new tools. They are fixes, additions, adjustments to current tools, which should be pretty cool. All the feedback that I get from you guys, the feedback from myself of using it, we're circling back on that. So it's like more stats in the custom model, better user-friendly, responsive, like all that stuff, okay? So it's coming. In the meantime, let me see. If you go to the Holy Grail and go to stats, is Apex on here? It would be, I think it's off the tee. Is it not off the tee? Do they stick it? Okay, so bounce back is here under scoring. So if you do bounce back and do sort by rank, Cantlay, Cam Young, Max Homa, Brendan Todd, by the way, and Sheamus Power. By the way, Brendan Todd models beautifully for Wells for some things at Quail Hollow here. Ricky Fowler 6th. Apex. Sometimes they stick it in weird spots. If it's not here, you can just Google it, I think. Clubhead speed. Type in PGA Tour Apex into Google. If we expect preferred lies to be in play, should we weigh driving accuracy much higher? Yes. 100%. Talks about those guys. If I have Rory available in one and done, would I use him this week or in Louisville? I would use him this week. Is everyone overlooking Tom Kim's Quail Hollow coming out party from the President's Cup? Boy. It's a very good question. I don't know if they're overlooking it. I'm not sure how super relevant it is. He was a much different player, right? And I think if you would have put him on any course, it would have been something similar. So here's his President's Cup coming out party. Okay. Look at what he was doing, Vincent, before that. He was an elite ball striker. I'm not kidding. +5, +1.3, +4.2, +7.3, +5, +8, +2 President's Cup. He had one of the biggest putting performances in ShotLink history. So he was doing it all. You put that on any golf course, it's gonna show out. And by the way, he was only 2-3. I know, but it's not like he was 5-0. Compare that to what he's doing now. Just head and shoulders different, right? Losing on approach in 3 out of 5, losing big off the tee, losing around the green, losing with the putter half the time. Just really not great, Bob. Not great, Tom. Smash the like button. That's right. Okay. Oh, sorry. We covered this. Yes. I've bet Ben Griffin. Fire it up. So can we do, all right, let's knock this one out. Brent is a member of the YouTube. Appreciate that, Brent. So let's run a Myrtle Beach model. This will get freaky. All right. First off, as we do with some of these alternate field events, and especially events with no history, we're going to put a pretty significant chunk on weighted strokes gained total. Everybody has weighted strokes gained. Everybody has strokes gained total, and weighing them will allow us to differentiate between guys that play primarily on the PGA Tour, get into some big time events, a lot of the Corn Ferry guys, any Euro guys. So what we're going to do is we're going to put probably 50 on strokes gained, weighted strokes gained. Where are you? Here we go. Weighted strokes gained total over the last 36 rounds. We're going to put 50 on it. I think we have to start there. Then the tree line nature of this, we're going to go with total driving, or I'm sorry, good drive percentage for 20. Keep it in play. Give yourself an opportunity to hit the green. We are then going to go with strokes gained. We could do greens in regulation because we'll probably have more of those. 20 on greens in regulation, and then 10 on, they're going to be, I think they're 12 on the stimp. Let's go 10 on bonus putting. Wow. Number one golfer is Justin Lauer. I already bet him. How sick is that? Lauer, Kevin Yu, Daniel Berger, Eric Funroyen, Andrew Novak, Sam Ryder, Victor Perez, Davis Thompson, Martin Laird, Chesson Hadley. Interesting. Where's Ben Griffin? 75? So that puts him in 22nd. Okay. That was fun. Sickos only. Hey, Rick, graduation was fun. Disappointed you couldn't make an appearance. Oh, sorry, Tyler. Sorry. I needed more notice. That's all. I just needed more notice. Lawrence, legit? Yes, I think so. Eckroad, I'm in on. Thoughts on Bazano, who talked about him. Okay, so we are getting to some response. Is this true? Sungjae had a sunburn? I don't know about that. Has there been any news on the Sam Burns baby watch? I'm done. I'm done baby watch. I'm over baby watch. I can't be on Scotty baby watch anymore. Meredith's been pregnant for 14 months. Sam's wife, I can't do baby watch anymore. If these guys WD, they WD. After Sunjay WDing, apparently because of sunburn, I don't care. Do your worst. Absolutely do your worst. I just don't care. Sheamus has played well this year. Had some decent outings at Wells Fargo. Let's do the Sheamus Power Vegas guy. Sheamus Power deep dive. Sheamus Power's uncle has a bar in Vegas. I think it's called The Bar, right? She's knitting. She's not even paying attention at all.
What?
Okay. It's called The Bar, right?
What?
Okay. Sheamus Power's uncle's bar? Isn't it? Doesn't he own The Bar?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. But there's multiple locations. I'm not sure if he owns them all or if that's even the name of it. So not helpful at all. Sheamus has been playing much better. The bar was very low, but he's been much better. I like this. API to RBC Heritage gaining on approach. Wasn't as good at Byron Nelson. I can give him a pass for one start. Around the green is pretty good. We got to get this dude to keep it in play off the tee. That's going to be the problem. Keep it in play off the tee. Which is kind of troublesome for him. Let's look at his Wells Fargo stuff or his Quail Hollow stuff more specifically. 18th last year. He was a much better player last year. 54th in 21, 13th in 19, 27th in 18. Okay. All right. Good, not great. If Rory could guarantee he wins the Masters if he fired Harry, do you think he would do it? Oh, yes. He would punch Harry in the face right now. I'm assuming. I don't know. Would it be like he wins the next Masters or he wins the Masters eventually? I think he would. Yes. I mean, I know they're great friends, but come on. I think Rory would do almost anything to win the Masters. Leading my one and done with 20 people. Top 3 are within 500K. Rory, Wyndham, Xander. Okay, I just play Rory. If you're front running, fire away. This sucks, Timmy. Sorry. I'm dreading the day where we have to say goodbye to Oliver. Where is he?
He just went downstairs.
No, he just went downstairs. So he doesn't even care. But dreading it. We don't talk about it. Live less than 2 miles from Quail. Raining again. We've got boots on the ground. Terry's giving us the weather report from the grounds. Keep rolling. Siwoo and Scott modeling well. Adam Scott always models well and just can't figure it out. Siwoo is low-key one of the best ball strikers on the PGA Tour. And maybe not even low-key. Look at these numbers. They're just insane. The finishes are coming around too. He's way more consistent than he used to be. He hasn't missed a cut since Shriners, and he's not going to miss a cut this week. So you give this psycho 4 guaranteed rounds. Like, I'm kind of in on that. He might shoot a 79, but he might shoot a 59. Siwoo's like crushing right now. Yeah, that's a deal. If Jaeger wins this week, everybody in the chat has to send us a bottle of Jägermeister. I have like 200 bottles of Jägermeister. Oh, this is a good question. I will ask Patrick what putter Siwoo's using. I have not seen the Myrtle Beach Trophy yet. I'll have to look into that. Need 2 for 1 and done. Rory, Siwoo, and Clark. Would you save Rory and Clark for the PGA? No. I mean, listen, here's the other thing. And Chris, and we haven't really talked about this yet. This is a 69-man field without Scotty Scheffler. And who's the other? And without Ludwig, where they are getting $3.6 million up top and they are guaranteed 4 rounds. The cream should be rising to the top here. The PGA Championship is beyond hectic. Michael Block finished 15th last year. Just beyond craziness. The field's like 160 guys. It's chaos on a golf course that we haven't seen in 10 years. They're going to make a cut, and the winning share is probably not going to be as high. You should burn your Rory, burn your Wyndham. It's just the the known outcomes are so much better. So much better. I want to do one thing because while I'm thinking about this, you guys are going to like this data that I have. But I'm going to enter the underdog portion of the show. I'm going to enter the underdog portion of the show.
Woof, woof.
She's here, but she's not here, you know?
I'm
She's
listening to an audible.
she's listening to an Audible book. She's knitting.
And I'm crocheting.
She's crocheting. Underdog has this, and they've been doing this. They've been doing a really good job offering. Remember when Underdog only offered strokes, fairways hit, greens in regulation, and then I came in? No, I'm just kidding. But I did say, like, listen, we got to expand some of this stuff. I think they were planning on doing it anyway, but not the point. Look at this. Front nine scoring, back nine scoring, green mile scoring. 11.5, holes 16, 17, and 18. Guess what? That is 1 over par. Guess what? Where's my... Oh, there we go. Guess what? That stretch of golf played to last year about 0.8 over par. So, we are already looking at hires. Now they're juiced a little bit, but that's what. So already, if you play this to field average, you are playing it to an 11.8. Okay. Now, there are guys who have struggled a lot on the green mile. I listed every golfer in this field who has history at Quail Hollow with their strokes gained, not their scoring averages, their strokes gained each hole of the green mile. So if you are Eric Cole, you're losing a quarter of a stroke per hole. So that's another 0.75 strokes. You're playing it over par. It's already playing over par. Eric Cole's line should be like 12.5. Okay. So I don't know if Eric Cole is an option for this week, but I know like Jordan Spieth definitely is. Hold on. Let me just search his name. No, he's not, of course, but Jordan Spieth is. And Jordan Spieth has been miserable at the green mile. He's losing 3/4 of it. I mean, he made a triple one year, but like I don't think he's ever played this thing at even or better. I was flipping through before. So guys who get crushed on the green mile historically, Jordan Spieth, Eric Cole, Brian Harman, Sung Jae Im, Mackenzie Hughes, and then plenty more. Guys that do well, Brendan Todd, probably because he doesn't hit it hard enough to get into any trouble. Rory McIlroy, Adam Scott, Victor Hovland, Peter Malnati. So what you could conceivably do, if you wanted to get a little bit freaky here, is you could do Spieth higher than 11.5, Rory lower than. You could then do, is Todd an option? No, he's not. You could then do, stand by. This is my newsletter, by the way, which you should absolutely be subscribed to. It's free. Links in the description. Harman higher than. Could do Adam Scott. Is he available? No. Could do Victor. That would be a little bit dangerous, but you could do it. Lower than. Where are you? Oh, Victor doesn't have one. Oh, Victor doesn't have one. Okay. Then let's do this. Sung Jae higher. That right there. Now they're all juiced a little bit. You get all four correct. It's a 5.7x return. So that's 100 to return 576, or you could insure it. You could do the flex play. But these to me feel very good, like very good options, right? Looking at the green mile. The other thing you're going to be able to do is see how the day's going early in the day, right? If they are playing preferred lies, that would be interesting for golfers who are less accurate off the tee. But two things. This is available in my newsletter right now, rickrungood.com/newsletter. Go sign up. This is delivered via email, or you can just click it on the website and get this. The link you need for Underdog is in the description. The promo code is Rick. I'm going to say this, and I'm going to give you a little bit of insight here. And I don't want to do this because I would normally say, go sign up for Underdog right now. Go do it. It's going to get you a deposit match. Go do that. And I would tell you to do that. I would get credit for it. You would get credit for it. Everybody would be very happy. We'd be supporting it. Everything would be all good. Wait until tomorrow. Okay. I'm not sure I'm allowed to say, but I'm just going to say, guys, wait until tomorrow, then use the promo code Rick, use the link in the description and get, I don't know, if I'm telling you, wait till tomorrow, maybe it'll be a better deal tomorrow. Okay. Maybe it'll be 2.5 times as good. I don't know. Maybe it'll be 10 times as good. Maybe it'll be 2.5 times as good. Wait until tomorrow, but don't forget to do it. I'm relying on you here. All right, let's roll on. By the way, while I'm shamelessly plugging everything, I only plug the good stuff anyway. The splash contest, which is guaranteed for this week, the tiers contest, $3,600 guaranteed. There's 50 spots left. I've got my 6 entries in. Let's rock and roll. All this one and done talk. If you, like me, have been miserable in one and done, there is a second chance on splash starting at the PGA Championship next week. So, unlike Armina, who's in 12th, I think, 13th. This, I've heard your concerns, much flatter payout and only a $50 entry. Okay. So don't make me look foolish on this one. Let's go fill this up. Get in your one and done. It starts PGA Championship, runs through the BMW. Okay. All the links are in the description. Should be fun. I just discovered the Brooks and Bryson beef last week, as wasn't really a beef. Yeah, go look up Keegan and Miguel Angel Cabrera. The good golf books are Every Shot Counts. It's a stats book. And anything by Bob Rotello is pretty good. Will Nelly win again this week in New Jersey? I hope so. She's sick. JT. Okay. Tim, I'm so funny. So funny you said this. I heard rumors that he had some changes in the bag. I didn't know what they were. I was hoping the putter, but apparently it's the driver. More interested in the men's and women's draw for the French Open. I don't know, man. I like watching both. The fact that tennis is on all the time and I learned so much. There's like multiple tennis tournaments happening all the time. And the Challenge Tour or whatever, Challenge Tour has like 5 events a week all over the globe. There's like constantly golf or tennis on. It's absolutely insane. How does no cut change your lineup construction? More volatile guys, cream rises to the top. So I'm trying to, I generally go barbell style, expensive guys and cheap guys. Dude, my wife does the same thing when she crochets. She's there, but in a different reality, total different reality. She doesn't even know I'm talking about it right now. She still doesn't know. She still hasn't acknowledged it. Any word on Hovland's game? No. So I'll see Victor next week, probably Tuesday. Listen, I've heard some people say some things. Here's where I think we might be. I think there's a really good chance he strikes it well this week. I think there's a really good chance we don't see that master stuff. We don't see kind of this weak stuff on approach. But I think the best case scenario for Victor this week is getting back to kind of this stretch of 2023 where he was very, very good. The short game was a problem, but he was one of the best ball strikers in the world. I think that's kind of a likely stat line for this week. When he unlocked the short game, it turned him into just a murderer's row, right? If we see any sign of life around the green, it's going to be really good. But I think we're probably going to get a stat line like this. One of these stat lines from, even from Quail Hollow last year or from the Players or API, something like that is I think pretty realistic for this week. I do not think he's going to win. I hope I hope that's wrong. I hope he wins by 100. Since scoring the most points is the point, yep, in winning DFS contests, is there a reason that projected cost per point is a widely used way or isn't a widely used way? I don't know if that was your point, Doug, but yeah, I mean, sometimes when I'm running models, I just do like fantasy points gained, right? And I'm like, this is a fantasy point game. Now, there are some things that are harder to predict that are valuable in fantasy points, right? Like predicting eagles, predicting birdie streaks, predicting aces. It's easier to predict finishing positions or strokes gained, which is, and they are obviously very highly correlated. What is your top 5 favorite PGA weekends besides the majors? Oof. Phoenix, Travelers, Vegas, Torrey. Riviera. Riviera is number 1. Sorry. Riviera is 1. No. Okay. It's probably Riviera, Torrey. I'm going to lump both the Hawaii ones together because it's like, okay, start of the new year. Vegas, Shriners. And then I don't think Wells Fargo's in it. I guess like the Players, kind of cheap. Ricky has a new putter this week. Interesting. Your pick for the Stanley Cup. Not Dallas. After that debacle last night. I only know that because I bet them. Up 3-0. I turned it off. I was like, lock it up, baby. Let's get that payout. Gave up 4 unanswered. Not great. I will say, okay. So I think they're down 2-0 now. So this is very unlikely. But I liked the way the Hurricanes played the Rangers. They looked faster. They looked better. They looked more opportunistic. They looked, I don't know. They just looked better, quite honestly. I would like them if that was like 1-1. But I really don't. I don't even know who the other teams are. Okay. I'm at the end of the questions. FR is checking in for the crochet spouses. Guess what she's crocheting? She told me it is a pot holder. I said, oh, like a handle so that you don't have to touch a hot. She said, no.
It is, but it's not a handle. It's just like one of those squares. It's a square.
So it's a square that you put in your hand to touch a pot, but it's not a handle.
That's what a pot. That's literally called a pot holder.
I don't know. So anyway, here's what we're gonna do. I've got PGA Championship on the mind. I'm not gonna lie to you. Okay, I'll be there. We'll be there. Mina's going. We're traveling Monday, so the DFS preview or the preview will be out Monday because the salaries are probably going to come out early. Traveling Monday. TBD on the Wednesday live chat. Might be Tuesday night, might be Wednesday morning. I want to get to the golf course. We'll figure it out. Okay. For next week, we'll get a good time in. I'll have a lot of information for the PGA Championship. I have a lot of giveaways. So like I gave away swag boxes for the Masters. I've already got him lined up for the PGA Championship. I just ordered more and I'll get some when we get on site. All you have to do is be entered in my newsletter. It's 100% free. Go sign up, rickrungood.com/newsletter. Also, I've got a ton of suggestions for Louisville. Much appreciated. We are going to be very, very busy. Go fill the splash contest, please. Go fill the one and done. Use code Rick on Underdog tomorrow. Please. I'm helping you. Help me. Are you ready, Mina? Have a great day.